Hello. Alright, what's going on YouTube? Today we have a hot taper for y'all. Today a kids cut. This will be an all natural cut for y'all. All natural hitters. If you want to learn how to do an easy low tape, hot tape, my bad. Easy hot taper. Y'all stay tuned. This will be easy. We're gonna probably be using about 2 guards and that's it. And yeah, easy, nice work, firework. Let's get into it. Alright, first thing, client consultation, y'all. Client consultation is what we do when you first begin any type of haircut, any form of a haircut. Basically talking to the client, combing the client's hair out, asking the client what's his desired cut. What does he want? Does he want a wave cut? Does he want to grow his hair out? What kind of taper does he want? Low tape, high tape, and whatnot. We're gonna keep this video surrounded 8 round tapers. But you know they got various types of haircuts, tapers, they got mullets, they got textured fringes now and stuff like that. So this client in particular, I already know he wants to do a high taper. That's what his dad wants, and I'm gonna give y'all a little preview of this. Y'all see his hair? Put Jay down. His hair is it's loose hair. You can see his scalp. So with hair textures like this, you can't necessarily take it down. We are gonna take it down, but take it down with a normal guard, like a 1 guard or something like that for wavelength, just for this in particular client. Wavelength for this client will be around a number 1.5 or a 2 guard. So we're gonna test the waters, go down with a 2 guard and then go down with a 1.5. And because this hair is not that high, to get this out of the way, what we're gonna be doing is making that first ball guideline. Today we're gonna be using our trimmers, y'all, for beginner barbers. So we're gonna explain this to y'all. This will be a low taper. This will you set the guide in for a low taper right there. Let's get all this hair from out the bottom. This will be a mid taper. How you doing? This will be around a mid taper right there. This is the first guideline for my mid taper. My mid tapers are kind of a roundish type of shape, and this is a high tape. A high tape doesn't have a C cup, so you eliminate the C cup, and all you will be doing whenever you're lining the client up is having that nice vertical bar. Boom. Just like that, y'all. So we're gonna establish this just because his hair not too long, so we can put in all these guidelines. And if you're confused on where to set in this high taper guideline, where his hair is the most thickest at, see where his top of his C cup and the side of his C cup is at? That's what we're gonna do. And mostly it ends around the top of his ear. We need enough space so we can also fade at the same exact time. But that is the placement. I correspond whenever the placement comes for our guidelines with his ear, or with all of my clients' ears. That's how I decide how to make the taper even on both sides, as that will result in a better haircut and a better picture perfect looking haircut. For the back, just so these vertical bars can stand out whenever we're gonna line up our client, we're gonna give it a slight curve. A slight curve towards the back, and hopefully y'all can hear me. And y'all, these are my new trimmers that just came in. These are the Babyliss Boost. Y'all should begin a tutorial on these before this video even comes out. Just like an unboxing, small unboxing and whatnot before this video come out. Maybe not. And we're doing like a half of a more kind of a roundish kind of shape, just so when you line up the client, these bars can stand out. Now we proceed to take the hair down. We're gonna grab our comb. Our number 2 guard is on here, level all the way closed. We're gonna see what this does. This is number 2 guard. I'm not liking how that's looking. It looks all right, but it doesn't look like the height that I would truly want. And plus, I don't want to fade into a number 2 guard. So we're doing a 1.5. 1.5 is this right here. Boom, y'all should be able to see 1.5. This is the guard below the 2 guard, above the 1 guard. And this is a nice length right here. And basically we're going with the grain. With the grain is where the hair wants to grow. I don't want to go against the grain. Going against the grain, put your head down for me, boom. Going against the grain will make the haircut totally like way lower than what it is, even though it's the same guard. I need y'all to understand the importance of going with the grain and going against the grain. When we're fading, we're going against the grain. I just recently found a new technique that I'm using, but it's on more so coarser hair. This technique works on every single hair type. It could be straight hair, curly hair, coarse hair. it doesn't matter. But the new technique is more so just based off of it's a more so skilled technique, but it makes the fade look it makes the fade look a lot better on Corsair. So whenever we get a Corsair person on this channel, y'all stay tuned. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe on this video right here. Boom, so it can reach more people and we can get nice haircuts, man. All y'all barbers at home, bro, we don't want no bad barbers in the shop, so make sure they come here, make sure they come learn. But we're going to continue to cut the hair down with the 1.5 all the way closed until everything is nice and flush and everything is at our desired length so our foundation could be right. All right, now that we got all of our guidelines in, we're going to start our fading process. And y'all, I do cut a lot of people today. Let me let y'all know this. Because we went down with the 1.5 against the grain, the highest guard that we'll be using fading down will be our 2 guard. So boom, I'm gonna turn our client head right there, level all the way open with our wall seams. And keep in mind, not to, right here, we're only going up a half of an inch or around a half of an inch, just because I noticed how much room we potentially have. So you have to work down from a 2 guard, 1.5, 1 guard, half guard, and then we're gonna be here with our level, you know, all the way open. So you have to make room. You have to know what guard is gonna be your biggest guard. It's always good to know, man. It's always good to have a foundation. That's why it's important to have a foundation so you can know exactly how to attack the haircut. And all we're doing is starting with the level all the way open. We created that second guideline that we just made, and then we slowly worked our way down. I'm about to go back over it one more time. Boom. And slowly just go down. Oh, number 2 guard, level all the way open. And we starting with level all the way open because we're not sure. Well, we really is. We sure, but we're not sure. But usually it'll be like half of a number 2 guard, level halfway open. Not always level all the way open. We're gonna turn the camera a little bit so y'all can see. We're starting with it all the way open, and then now we're gonna start our down fading technique. Down fading allows us to stay and not fade too high. Stay intact with the blend and not fade too high. And we're just slowly moving down, y'all. We are using our brush and moving down. Just like that. We're not detailing yet. You can detail as you go. Now we got the 1.5. Level all the way open. And whatever guard we switch to next, remember, we're moving downwards. We're moving down in sizes with these guards. So the 0.5 is below the 2 guard. I'm going back up in the 2 guard area real quick and kind of using my corners and detailing. And basically detailing is to remove dark marks or dark spots so that blend could be blendy. It could look blended, it could look smooth. You want a smooth, nice blend. That's what separates a good haircut or a good barber from a bad barber. Just that one thing alone will be the deciding factor for real. Now we got our 1 guard. And every time we put on a new guard, the level will be all the way open. I do have a technique where I go down with that 0.5 all the way closed just to notch at this line. You can do that if you've been on the channel for a while. You know that technique already. But for newer viewers, we're just going to do it the old-fashioned way. So every time we put on a new guard, we're moving down in guards, and we're never in the same exact spot unless we're detailing and using our corners. So 1 guard, and we almost level all the way open. And once we get that level all the way closed, we stop. We stop in the blend, and then that's when it's time to put on our next guard and start working our way down. Boom, and y'all can see this, the blend is coming out smooth, and it's very easy processes, y'all. Very easy steps. Level all the way open. This is the smallest guard that you should get. Everybody should have this guard to 0.5. So, boom, level all the way open, and we continue to close the lever and move down, y'all. I should have mentioned that a little bit earlier for those of y'all who's cutting hair and watching the video at the same time. I used to do the same exact stuff. Look at this blend, y'all. And now we're just detailing certain areas, making that blend a lot more smoother. Cause y'all know I'm a YouTuber. And I gotta get them perfect blends. Gotta get the perfect blends. I'm showing y'all. Imagine me not knowing what I'm doing, trying to teach y'all what to do. How that work out? And now we got level all the way up when we just detailing in that half guard spot and 1 guard area. Look at that. Nice blend. That's gonna look so fire whenever we do our, whenever we get to doing our full lineup process. And we keeping the lineup process simple this time because it is a little kid. And now we about to do the same thing on the opposite side. 1/2 inch. And then start working all the way down from the 2 guard. After we fade this out, 2, 1.5, 1 guard, 1/2 guard. And it should look the exact same way as the opposite side that we just did. And another thing before we blend this whole entire side, y'all can do is stretch the skin. Stretch the skin as y'all are blending. Just to get a better blend, this will allow y'all to see what y'all working with. And any hair, any piece of skin that's not a flat surface, it kind of makes it a flat surface, so the clipper could kind of just glide over that particular area, and you can get a more smoother blend. Cause skin, once we move it, it kind of scrunches up and whatnot. And y'all, for the back, it'll be the same exact thing. Level all the way open. But this time we're working and following that first guideline that we had set in, y'all. Let me move down the chair a little bit so y'all can see. We're gonna angle this camera down a little bit, zoom in. We're working like this, we're fading like this. It's important to keep that same exact shape whenever you're fading. You don't wanna fade, you don't wanna set in a straight guideline and then fade like this, or you don't wanna set in a guideline like this and then start fading up like this in a straight pattern. That's gonna totally mess up the blend, the transition of the blend. That's why you have to keep in mind to follow all the way through. And if you're dealing with a client whose hair doesn't grow, just going straight down, like on this client right here, the hair wants to go this way, you simply just turn the clippers and fade against the grain. And that's all you do. Now we are level all the way closed, touching up this bottom. Look how easy that was. This whole entire section is now faded out. Look how easy. Hair cutting is not, I can't say it's not hard. For some people it might be hard. For some people it might be easy. So I just can't say that. 2 guard. Repeat the process. Repeating that process. Fading accordingly. Fading down, you just kind of gotta know. Just kind of gotta know, brother, where you're at. How many guards you're using. That's how you keep track without setting guidelines. When you don't set guidelines, it's a lot better. Only because we're not setting a lot of guidelines. We can kind of zoom off here. Not setting buku guidelines will result in you having a cleaner blend. Because it's typically harder for barbers to take out those harsh guidelines setting with trimmers, or even guidelines setting with your clipper with a specific guard. So no guidelines, how do you eliminate that? Why not just do no guidelines at all and just fade down? You can even do no guidelines at all and fade up. But I typically like to fade down. That is my style and how I like to do things. Now we're gonna finish this off. 0.5, that's where I'm at right now. 1.5, my bad. 1.5, the guard below the number 2 guard. And we're gonna finish it off. 1 guard. My bad, my phone ringing in the background. 1 guard, 0.5, and then that'll be it. We'll be on to the lineup part. All right, now we're about to do the lineup prep. And for kids, I like to keep it simple. We're gonna zoom out for y'all so y'all can see. Alcohol, cotton swab, boom. If y'all want to know, y'all subscribe for a long time, you already know what's about to go down. So boom, hold your head down. Alcohol swab, and all you're doing is just cleaning, wiping down the line. You can wash your client's hair first. His hair was pretty washed, but this is going to give it that next level ash, that sharp lineup that we want. This is what Alcohol is meant for alcohol. This is what the pencil was made for. The pencil was made for to get that ash line effect. But since we are very skilled barbers and we know what we're doing, we just gonna do it. I don't want that thing was drenched with alcohol. But since we know what we're doing, we just gonna use regular alcohol. Regular alcohol, and then we gonna hit it with that blow dry. That blow dry gonna dry everything out. Watch this. The blow dry gonna dry everything out. You can see his skin almost turning white. This is the liner prep that you want to use, brother. This is that liner prep. You can't brush the hair down. It does have a small calic right here. Calic is hair that wants to go against the grain. It doesn't flow where the hair wants to normally go. So we just blow drying this client. Say we're gonna move back. We just blow drying everything. It's kind of nice. You know, you can tell when the haircut about to be fire before you even put in the lineup, y'all. Shake up our holding spray. You don't really need too much. Just enough so the hair is laid down and you can do what you need to do, partner, brother. And what I like to do for the holding spray, you don't spray the forehead, you just spray the client's hair for real. Because the holding spray for real is like a burst. It's like a burst effect. It don't just spray in the particular area that you're aiming at. So if you're aiming right here, it's gonna spray all on this forehead. And to prevent that ash all on the client's forehead, I know I have some clients that don't like the ash out here. You spray it like right here. You aim for like right here. Because you got to think, whenever you're doing somebody's lineup, you're not lining up right here. You're going backwards. You're going backwards slowly and slowly and slowly. So why would you need holding spray all right here? You know? We just create an unwanted effect for real. You want to zoom out for y'all? And now we're about to start the best part, the lineup. Keep in mind, when I'm doing this lineup, I want to start, look at these. These are such a beautiful shimmy, y'all. Boom. But with this right here, you're going to zoom in for y'all. Go right there. We're going to move it a little bit for y'all. Well, right there. Put it right there. I'm angling my trimmer. I'm holding it down with my right pointer finger. I'm not holding it down with my left hand. Angling it, and I'm just going with the flow. I'm gonna stop right here at the curve of his ear, go back down, create this part. But y'all see it. Y'all see what I'm putting out. Everything below that goes. Everything below that goes. Look how beautiful. Look how nice. No enhancements. We don't need no enhancements over here. And then right here, use the corners. Get skillful with the corners. Boom. You're gonna turn them a little bit just so y'all can see. Just so I can see. Get a better angle. Look at this, y'all. My haircuts don't be perfect, but I'm gonna try to get close. And y'all watching everything live. Everything that I'm doing is actually exactly what I'm doing, y'all. I'm not pausing, doing no secret stuff. All this is exactly what I do on a day-to-day basis. Boom. Perfect. Look at that. Perfect. Then we're gonna continue that. Continue that curve line right here at the top. And this hair is kind of flowing, so we're gonna go back to this side and go against the grain. The hair cuts better against the grain, y'all. You don't need a steady hand to do something like this, y'all. All you need is good technique. All you missing is a technique. All you missing is a piece of information that you don't have yet, that you haven't acquired, that'll change the whole entire way that you cut hair. Look at that. All right, so now the kid's cut. What we're gonna do to make his head a lot stabler for us, we're gonna get this I forgot what it was called. We're gonna get this and we're gonna lower the chair. We're gonna get that head rest. Y'all comment head rest if y'all made it this far. Comment head rest. Boom, right there. Now I want a little bit more down. The more down you get, the more up his head gonna be for the lineup. And that's perfect right there for us. We're just gonna lower the chair down a little bit more. I want that eye level view. I want him eye level view, and that's perfect. Boom. Now what we're gonna do is start in the middle. Always start in the middle. Especially when you do a hot taper. Right here is the perfect spot. Right there was a perfect spot. We just work towards one side. Look how easy that is. We ain't gotta do no enhancements. We ain't gotta use enhancements on this channel. I teach y'all all raw, natural. I teach y'all with enhancements, how to use enhancements correctly. Look at that. Can y'all see that? We're gonna zoom in. Boom. Just so y'all can see exactly what's going on, y'all. Just so y'all can see exactly what's going on. I'm using the right side of my trimmer blade on the right side of my client's head. I'm not using the whole blade. I'm matching up what I've already cut with the left side of half of my blade, and I'm continuing with the right side. And we're just gonna keep going over till we find a good spot to stop. Turn our client to the side. Look at that, y'all. I'm proud of myself. Boom. And then we're gonna add this vertical bow. I don't wanna add it right here because it's not gonna be thick. Boom, right there. Right here is the perfect spot. Just like that. I'm gonna try to hit that corner up a little bit more. So we're gonna change trimmers real quick. This is the same exact blade, y'all. Different trimmer, same exact blade. Just trying to make the corners hit a little bit more. Just like that, y'all. Look at that. Boom. Now all we do now is work towards the other side. Well, real quick, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go in, make my micro adjustments. We're gonna make this line up as straight as I possibly can, y'all. Into my ruler. Pencil and ruler straight. Boom. Now hold up. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna work towards the other side, but we're not gonna go there all the way. We're gonna take a minute, pause, see what his vertical bar at. This is his arc and his eyebrow. This is the end of his eyebrow. It's a little bit past his arc right here that the vertical bars come down to. So that's what we're about to do on this side. Go to his arc, go a little bit past it. And that's where we're gonna set it in there and then work our way over. Even though I'm done this part right here, this is just like a rough draft. This is me just getting all the little hair, just making like a small rough draft, looking at it for what it is. And then I'm gonna turn my client back to the front and make my adjustments. Boom. Here, right there. Make my adjustments. Just like that, y'all. Boom. You know, the last part of this haircut, what you're gonna do is some razor blade work. Stretching the skin in one direction, in the opposite direction with a hairline there, and then pulling the blade towards the hairline. Y'all, I typically do not do this with kids, but until they are knowledgeable to stay still. If I tell you stay still, then you can get the razor blade work. I call it razor blade work. But if you can't, the little kid always turning, and don't use it on him because he will be, you know, it will be at higher risk in cutting the kid's head or whatever the case may be. But he's a pretty mature kid, so I can use a razor blade on him. He's not gonna move or just jump all of a sudden. I did cut his little brother hair. I'm gonna put a picture of his little brother haircut. If I remember, I'm gonna put a picture of his little brother's haircut up there. Yeah, let me know if y'all want me to do a review on his haircut too as well. So, but yeah, the razor blade just closes everything out. Razor blade gets it to a nice clean point, nice clean look. Y'all, I love cutting hair, y'all. Alright, y'all, so this is the haircut right here. A nice, clean, high temp fade. Boom. Kids cut, all natural cut. But look, it's HYB. If you're not handling your business and what you're doing, and we out. Make sure y'all like, comment. If y'all new to the channel, make sure y'all subscribe, brother. We do haircut tutorials. We go live and everything. If y'all haven't checked out my live yet, go check out my lives. But we out. We are out, brother.
Danny, please don't do anything crazy.